So yeah, thank you very much for choosing the counter press. My name again is Fiifi-Manfred. I'm grateful to have you here. It's another edition of the transfer update here on the counter press on YouTube. The name again is the counter press. Do like, subscribe, and share. It's the counter press. I'll be grateful if you subscribe, if you like, share for others to get to know. Over here, we don't just give you the transfer analysis, but then we analyze for you. Who is going where and why? Why does Pep Guardiola want Declan Rice? Some of the questions we'll be answering today. Why is it that Matthew Kovacic is going to be an instrumental player for Pep Guardiola? I'll answer that question yet for you today. Why is it that Mason Mount is so important to Erik ten Hag and the Manchester United project? I answered that for you today. Apart from that, Moises Caicedo's influence at Chelsea Football Club when he joins you. I answered that for you here today. Josko Vardiol, why is it that Pep Guardiola wants a centre back as good as Josko Vardiol? I answer that here as well for you. Then Harry Kane, why Harry Kane is going to be very important to Thomas Tuchel and Bayern Munich? I answer that question for you here. So again, thank you very much. My name is Fiifi-Manfred. Let's set the ball rolling. So I want to start from Arsenal Football Club. So already Arsenal, the announcement video for Kai Havertz has leaked, and he's going to be an Arsenal player. That is confirmed. In excess of about 65 million from Chelsea Football Club. And the plan is simple. Like I've said, Kai Havertz is a player who has a long frame. I mean, he's 6 foot and over. Arsenal's attackers, nobody has this stature as a player. They want this frame of a player, somebody that's able to hold up play. Kai is a very good player in terms of hold up play, and then he's also a good player. His issue, however, is his ball striking ability, and that's exactly why you don't get the best from him if he's a number 9. But if he plays him as a second striker, so Gabriel Jesus can still be on the foot of play. Gabriel Martinelli can still be on the foot of play. Saka can be on the foot of play whilst they play like that. And with him, he's always going to drop in the middle of the park to receive those balls in those those passes that are going to be to feet. Once he receives them, they are willing runners in Gabriel Martinelli, in Gabriel Jesus, and of course Bukayo Saka in the Arsenal team. So definitely, that's exactly how Kai Havertz helps Arsenal Football Club. Now, the big one is that, like I said this from the beginning of the transfer window, that West Ham were going to do anything humanly possible to make sure that there is some form of a bidding war between any two clubs that come for Declan Rice. And they had it perfectly set out when Arsenal announced their intents to go in for Declan Rice earlier on in the season. Last season, there was Chelsea was also in the free. And all of a sudden, when Arsenal sends the first bid for 75 million plus an extra 5 million on add-ons, they declined it because they knew that there was going to be much more to come. Now, Man City were smart in that regard. They changed it to 90 million to 80 million straight up cash, then 10 million add-ons. And that, again, there were just differences in the structure of the deal for both clubs, but essentially the same money. And as West Ham United also, again, decided to let go of that deal. Now, last night, the breaking is that West Ham United are now in deep-seated conversation with Arsenal Football Club, and the reason is simple. Arsenal have come in with an offer that I think it's not refusable. It is too sweet for West Ham United to look away from. It is 100 million and in excesses of an add-ons of 5 million from Arsenal Football Club. That is whooping for Arsenal, and for a lot of the people who have said that Arsenal have not showed ambition in recent years, that is ambition. Signing Kai Havertz, getting the job done with Jadon Timber, which is in the pipeline, and then of course with Declan Rice. That is it. But how does Mikel Arteta intend to use Declan Rice when he gets into the field of play? How does he intend to use him? And I've said this several times. You see, Partey may not be going. Declan Rice's entry into Arsenal's team, into Arsenal's starting 11, makes it simple for them to play in a double pivot, in a very good 4-2-3-1. So even if Jorginho is starting in this game, now it's going to be Jorginho and then of course Declan Rice. Jorginho, of course, being the more ball-sided player, but then mind you, it is Rice's very good dribbling abilities, his extended ball carrying ability, and then the fact that he's a wonderful striker of the ball in central areas. The off-the-ball attribute of Declan Rice is also very important, and that's exactly why Mikel Arteta wants him. So if you ask yourself why is that Arsenal are breaking the bank for him, he's a key cog as a number 8 for Arsenal Football Club, and that is exactly why they want him. They want him for his ball carrying ability, which Jorginho doesn't have, which even Thomas Partey doesn't have, with the volume at which he does it compared to Partey. They want him for his dribbling ability, which he is exceptional, and almost every midfielder Arsenal have had. Like I told you the last time, qualitative superiority is very important in the modern game. When you look at it like that, you want to have the best of players who are very good qualitatively, because it helps to take away players, it helps to break down presses, it helps to create chances and vacuums for people to attack. So Arsenal want it in that regard, and that's exactly what they are paying huge sum. I call it a top dollar for the man Declan Rice, and I'm telling you that there is no way that West Ham are going to overlook this bid. They'll take it. It is sweet, it is beautiful, it's delicious, and they'll take it, and they're going to give away their captain. Just 1 year left on his contract. He's a 20-year-old, an exciting talent, and I'm very sure that West Ham will let him go. Once he goes, trust me, Arteta will cook beautiful meal, and he takes Arsenal closely to the English Premier League title that has eluded them for the last 20 years. And of course, also at Arsenal, there's a conversation at Julian Timber. You remember last season, William Saliba's backache was one of the things that kept him out of the season. And since his absence, Arsenal failed to replace him proper. He was very, very important in build-up from Arsenal. He was so composed on the ball, so secured in possession, very, very good 1v1 defender as well from wide areas when the fullbacks push up. And when he left, it was a time in Arsenal's season where everything came down crumbling, and they are going to show up in that. And they have a top player, not in the same frame, not exactly the same player, but in casting the same mode, and that is in Julian Timber. Timber is a wonderful ball-playing centre-back, and he has had volumes of that at the Eredivisie. Of course, you may have your questions, but he's a top player. Anybody that comes from the Ajax Academy, when we talk about ball playing, is a top player. So Julian Timber is also in the pipeline for Arsenal Football Club. Now let's move away to Chelsea Football Club, and I've said it that one of the most important players to come that will possibly come to Chelsea Football Club this season is my man Moise Caicedo. You see, Caicedo is important, very, very important, and Chelsea know that's exactly why they went ahead to agree personal terms with Moise Caicedo. They know that once they do, first of all, there's going to be a very good pair between himself and Enzo Fernandez, because both of them there's one Ecuadorian, there's one Argentine, both Latin Americans. Again, in the middle of the pack, Mauricio Pochettino has always favored the 4-2-3-1. One more ball-sided, the other much more aggressive and combative. And in this one, it is probably the most balanced Chelsea midfield I've seen in a while in terms of every skill set, from attitude-wise, from aggression, from combativeness, on the ball abilities. That is where you have it. Moise Caicedo is a very good carrier of the ball. He dictates the pace of the game. And then the update now is that, aside the tactical analysis, the update is that Chelsea are done in terms of personal terms with Moise Caicedo. Now, in the next few hours to a day, Chelsea are going to attack Brighton. They are going to speak to Tony Bloom. And then they know that since there haven't been extra bids for the young man in Moise Caicedo, they have a very good chance. Mind you, Chelsea is not going to go above the valuation of 80 million of Moise Caicedo. Mark me, Chelsea aren't going to go above the valuation of 80 million for Moise Caicedo. It is going to come down to structure. How are Chelsea going to structure the bid? That is going to be the point that, for me, will decide this Moise Caicedo deal to Chelsea, especially if Mason Mount is sold to Manchester United, especially if Bayern do not come into this conversation, and then especially if Chelsea are the only people that are bidding for Moise Caicedo. So watch out for Moise Caicedo. Chelsea Football Club, they are willing to attack Brighton in the next coming hours to get our job done. That is it at Chelsea Football Club. Mind you, the job for Nicolas Jackson has been done. I mean, I'm going to do a proper video analysis, a player analysis of Nicolas Jackson in the next hours. So it's a counter press. Do like, subscribe, and share, because that is going to come in, and you don't want to miss anything from the Nicolas Jackson analysis to Chelsea Football Club. If you're a Chelsea fan, you need to know about Nicolas Jackson. The analysis is incoming. Wait for it. And the next one, after Declan Rice to Arsenal, Kai Havertz has been said. Chelsea have offloaded Edouard Mendy through Kalidou Koulibaly. Hakim Ziyech is on his way to Saudi Arabia. Apart from that, there's Ruben Loftus-Cheek, who's also going to AC Milan, about 25 million. There is Pulisic, 15 million, also for AC Milan. Then the other players that are going to leave Chelsea Football Club, and I think Todd Bowley and his entourage have done a very good job in the summer clearouts that they needed to do. Mind you, they needed that Kai Havertz money. What is left is to finally finish that deal for Mason Mount, also to make sure that they're almost done for the footballing year of 2022-2023, to be able to balance their books in that one. Now, for me, the most important transfer conversation now, I have never seen in recent times where fans from both devices, fans who are not fans of Tottenham Hotspur, who are not fans of a particular team, think that a player needs to leave for everybody to enjoy themselves. And I think it's a story of Harry Kane now. Almost everybody believes that it's time for Harry Kane to leave Tottenham Hotspur. It is time for him to call the bluff of Daniel Levy and then go away. Daniel Levy doesn't plan to sell Harry Kane to any Premier League rival. That's exactly why Man United knew this the early, and then they knew peace. They have moved away from Harry Kane. Now they are looking at Rasmus Højlund to replace to be their striker next season. But Harry Kane, Bayern yesterday came in with a first bid of 70 million euros. One that Daniel Levy at the first instance declined it and didn't even decide to look at it. Bayern are coming back with a better offer. I'm looking. Bayern's evaluation of Harry Kane is not going to go to the 100 million and more that Daniel Levy wants. It's going to be at most at 80 million. And then they know that with the definition of this deal, with how things are going to go, it's going to come down to structure. What is going to be key is that Harry Kane needs to go to Daniel Levy and let him know that he wants to move away from Tottenham Hotspur. Because if he doesn't, Daniel Levy is always going to play hardball. He's always going to play a stubborn guy and not willing to sell to anybody, not even Bayern Munich. And that's exactly what he needs to do. Harry Kane needs to push Daniel Levy to get the job done, because that is going to be very, very important in the deal for Harry Kane. Harry Kane is going to be important. You know, Thomas Tuchel has always loved strikers that are able to play the football. He doesn't necessarily like the focal point strikers. So if you remember at Paris Saint-Germain, even at times where he decided to play Mbappe centrally, it is because he wanted him to be that drifting wide or dropping centrally so that people could attack the space behind him. His best days at Chelsea Football Club, when Timo Werner and Havertz were up top, it was because they were going to be interchanging a lot of the times for wingers to attack the spaces in behind them. And you know that in recent times, Harry Kane has been exceptional in terms of dropping into the middle of the park to link up with Son, and then of course other midfielders in Dejan Kulusevski, attackers like Dejan Kulusevski over there, whilst he does so also with Bentancur, and then of course PMA Højbjerg. That is exactly what Thomas Tuchel wants. In Thomas Tuchel's dream at FC Bayern Munich, he wants Harry Kane to lead the line, whilst he drops into the middle of the park to link up to Kimmich and then Leon Goretzka. That midfield trio is going to always unleash the runs of Serge Gnabry, Sadio Mane, and then of course Leroy Sané into those spaces. Mind you, Mane is one of the best attackers of space that you get in Europe. If you want any player that attacks the spaces so well and is so intelligent at it, then it is Sadio Mane. It's the same for Leroy Sané, who has a lot of pace, and that burst of pace when he needs it from wide areas gets the job done. So he needs to create a vacuum for his wingers to attack, and that's exactly why Thomas Tuchel wants Harry Kane. And I think that everybody wants Harry Kane to move. He's a top player. He understands exactly how he wants to play, and then you would want Harry Kane to move in there, because if he does, he's going to get a job done at FC Bayern Munich. Very important for. And I think I need to add to the fact that Manchester City have done it again. They have been showing in recent times they are proper top industry players, and they don't let anybody bluff them. They did it with Harry Maguire, they did it with Marco Correa, they've done it again with Declan Rice. If they come for your player and it is way beyond the evaluation that they want, they pull out of the deal. I think that's smart. In this market where it has become inflated and almost every fee goes up and down, you want people that can call the bluffs of people. And I like the way Chelsea did with Manuel Ugarte as well. So, this is where we round up my name again as Fiifi-Manfred. I am grateful for having me. The name is the Counter Press. Please do all to like, subscribe, and share. See you some other time. Bye-bye.